conservative media viewers and MMA fans all around the world, what is up? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion. And let me stop them. There's maybe some people like, oh, why do you keep saying four-time national? Because I'm a four-time national champion. If you were a four-time national champion, I think you'd be proud of it too. I earned it. So zip it, and those, what are you championing? Look at my videos, dudes. I got a playlist. That's all I got to say about that. Now, and the MMA expert. That's right, I'm the MMA expert. I'm talking about my final prediction for this UFC 148 between Anderson Silva and Chael Sonnen. It's the second fight. It's the rematch, and it's going down tonight in Las Vegas, MGM. Now, the first fight went down in Oakland, and I have videos of the open workout before that fight. If you haven't seen them, check that out. I believe we have that in a playlist as well. It's unbelievable and it's incredible. Now, in that fight, Chael Sonnen did very, very fantastic. He really had Anderson Silva on the ropes until that fifth and decisive round when Anderson Silva slapped the triangle on him and Chael Sonnen tapped out, dude. So here's where I am on this. And then I'm going to do more videos on this because there's more to talk about. I talked about the weigh-in. I talked about the shoulder bump. If you haven't seen those videos, check those videos out because that was incredible. And I think that this is going to be an incredible fight. I talked about my first, I did a first prediction video on this. And we talked about the trash talking in this fight. But for this final prediction, I'm dealing with it right now. Bottom line is, I see Anderson Silva winning this fight, and quite frankly, I see him winning this fight relatively easily. Does that mean, oh, JDV, what about, you're a hater? I'm not a hater, dude. I like both these dudes, okay? I've met them both. Didn't really talk to Anderson. I've talked to Chael and stuff like that. I was even rolling around on the ground a little bit with Chael, more like kind of a training dummy. When Kyle Terra, what the Super BJJ master dude, was showing Chael Sonnen a move that he actually put on Brian Stan, dude, the side choke. Now, or how to sort of tweak it. Not that Chael didn't know it, but he saw how to tweak it. So look, I'm cool with both these dudes. Okay, it's not about that at all. I am the MMA expert. I am the four-time national champion. I have to give you, I owe it to you fans, to give you my honest opinion and prediction, and that's what I'm doing, dude. And for almost everybody watching this video, bottom line is, I know more than you when it comes to this stuff, okay? That's what it is, and that's why you're watching, because you know that JDV is going to call it like he sees it. Now, here's the thing. Can Chael win? Of course Chael can win. If Chael could go out there and do the same thing that he did in Oakland for 5 rounds, all 5 rounds instead of 4 rounds, then guess what? And Anderson Silva allows him to do that, then of course Chael can win. But think about what I just said there. I mean, I've seen all these people, including some pros, predicting, oh, you know, in my opinion, my personal opinion, first of all, my personal opinion only, and not alleging facts, not casting aspersions, all for entertainment parody purpose only. Please check the disclaimer. Now, yes, I've seen these people, in my personal opinion, including pros, using bad, what I consider, in my personal opinion, bad logic. Oh, Chael would have won. All he needs to do is just avoid one, submission. Just avoid the submission and he wins. I can see why you would say that. But I don't think that's the right way to look at that, right? I think you flip it around, which is to say, look, Chael Sonnen, how many strikes did he land against Anderson Silva? What was it, like over 300? And he couldn't finish Anderson Silva. I've seen Chael Sonnen spar. And quite frankly, in my personal opinion, he doesn't hit hard. Okay, not for someone going for the UFC belt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to disrespect Chael. Here's my analysis of Chael. Incredible wrestler. Trains extremely hard. Mentally tough in a certain way, and I'll deal with that later. And, you know, funny dude, entertaining and everything like that. And I think he understands the business of MMA, and that's great. So props on that, you know, I'm all for business and capitalism, everything like that. But, you know, pretty much, in my personal opinion, I won't call him one-dimensional, but I don't think that's fair. But has a limited or more focused skill set, in my personal opinion, when it comes to MMA, which is primarily based upon wrestling. And there's nothing about with that. I've said before that I believe that wrestling is the number one thing or the most important skill set that you need to have or learn if you want to be a top-level MMA fighter. But you know, we've seen elite wrestlers not able to do that much in my personal opinion, in MMA. Great example is Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, if I'm remembering correctly, I mean, wasn't he an NCAA champion or something like that? And what has he done in MMA? You know what I'm saying? So, and we've seen, you know, Randleman with some, you know, sometimes good, sometimes not so good, up and down. So we've seen different things. On the other hand, we've seen people like Dan Henderson and Randy Couture, you know, do incredible things, and now Cormier, you know, can do some really incredible things as well. So it just depends. But when you look at that, when you look at Randy Couture, and particularly Dan Henderson and Cormier, Dan Henderson, all those three have proven at least some striking skills and some other skills. But for sure, you know, Cormier and Dan Henderson can absolutely hit. They have explosion in their fists, dude, okay? We haven't seen that from Chael Sonnen. And so that's what I'm trying to talk about here. That it is MMA, it's mixed martial arts. And look, I mean, whatever you do or don't do, if you can go in there and execute a game plan, if you can go in there and let's say you're the world's greatest wrestler and you don't have to do anything other than wrestle, and that works for you, that's fine. It's just, in my personal opinion, at some point, you're going to hit some roadblocks. And the other person, like Fedor, world-class sambo, you know, world-class striking and stuff like that, plus submissions. You know, there was a more complete skill set bringing together here. The point I'm trying to make is this. I flip the people that are saying that Chael's going to win, I flip their logic on its head. I feel like, you know, Sonnen, he has to fight. I mean, Sonnen's most probable way to win this is to go 25 minutes in trying to wrestle and use dominant position to get a decision win versus Anderson Silva, who I believe can end this fight at any time. And now I think you have a motivated Anderson Silva. In my personal opinion, I buy into the theory that Anderson Silva was having a bad night in Oakland and Chael Sonnen was having one of his best nights in Oakland. And when I saw the weigh-in and I saw Anderson Silva with the shoulder bump and the intensity, and I saw him looking very fit, very ready to go, and I saw Chael Sonnen look very kind of stripped down, drained down, you look at his face, stuff like that, I'm concerned if he may have cut too much weight and that could show up. I don't think Chael Sonnen has, I mean, people talk about, his endurance in the you know, training stuff. I don't doubt that whatsoever. You know, I've seen Chael Sonnen, you know, doing some training, whatever like that. He looked, you know, very fit and everything like that. That's different than being fit and ready to go, you know, come fight night. If you know, I mean, I wrestled for a long time and also made weight for, you know, my powerlifting competitions, everything like that. You know, you cut too much weight and your endurance can go bye-bye, okay? That's number one. Number two, you know, I think that Chael has shown some endurance issues, in my personal opinion, in some of his fights. And you look at you know, the later round of the Bisping fight. Definitely, you look at the late round there against Anderson Silva. You know, the 5th round and everything like that. And so, you know, I think that can show up as an issue. I don't think we've seen that quite as much from Anderson Silva. The bottom line is that Anderson Silva, I think, is going to be faster. I think he's going to be ready for, you know, the takedown defense. I'm not saying Chael Sonnen's not going to take him down. I expect Chael Sonnen to take him down at some point. But the question is, what can you do with Anderson Silva once you take him down? Remember, Anderson Silva finished that first fight off his back. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. There is no place in this fight that Chael Sonnen is really safe. And again, I mean, you know, this is no disrespect to Chael Sonnen. This is all the respect to Chael Sonnen. Guess what? Chael Sonnen's going to get paid tonight. Okay? So Chael, it's my personal opinion, Chael Sonnen's done his job. He's going to make his money. He's helped hype and build this fight up, which is great. I'm sure he's going to go in there and do everything he can to win. I'm sure he's prepared super hard to win. And certainly if Chael Sonnen wins, then I mean, woo! I mean, you know, the sky's the limit, you know, with his career and everything like that. At the same time, people need to take a step back. Look at Chael Sonnen's, you know, record. Okay, it's not like he has no losses. All right, I mean, beyond the Anderson Silva fight, that's number one. Number two, if Chael Sonnen's so super mentally tough and so hard and everything like that, why'd you tap, bro? Why didn't you move faster when Silva was slapping on that triangle and stuff like that? I'm not saying you shouldn't have tapped. I'm not saying you want to risk your health, your arm, or anything like that. I mean, I wasn't in that triangle. Chael Sonnen was in that triangle. But at the same time, like, you know, it's hard for me to fully buy into this idea that, like, you know, Chael Sonnen is the most mentally tough, you know, hardest fighter on the planet. And that's kind of what I want to get to. You know, my personal opinion, Chael Sonnen, you know, has a real wrestling toughness. You know, you're going to go out there, you're going to train hard, you're going to do your thing. He's a tough wrestler and everything like that. It's that kind of mental toughness, and I totally understand that. That's different than a fighter's mental toughness. Do you understand what I'm trying to talk about? I mean, Anderson Silva is a fighter. That's just my personal opinion on that, okay? What I'm trying to say is you know, Fedor Emelianenko is a fighter, okay? Anderson Silva is a fighter. You know, what's another good example? You know, Wanderlei Silva is a fighter, okay? And, you know, Rampage Jackson is a fighter, and it's just a different mentality. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a different mentality, and I think that it's one thing to be a tough wrestler. It's one thing to be, you know, tough in training. It's another thing to be, you know, a mentally tough fighter and have a fighter's mentality. Okay, and I think that's going to show up tonight. I think that you know, people are going to see in Anderson Silva that maybe you haven't seen in a long time, and maybe you haven't seen ever. And I think that Anderson Silva is going to use a lot of movement, and I think Anderson Silva is going to tee off on Chael Sonnen. You know, that's what I expect. I expect we're going to see some low kicks to take out, you know, Sonnen's legs. I don't, you know, although I'm not sure how much Anderson's going to commit to that, because I don't necessarily want to give up the takedown. But I definitely expect to see, you know, some kicks to Chael's face. I expect to see, or head. I expect to see a lot of, you know, movement and punches and stuff like that, and counters. You know, I think Anderson Silva is going to be doing some, you know, some sniping of Chael Sonnen. And so if Sonnen, you know, doesn't really have, you know, the striking power, and then that's the other thing too. How many fights has Chael Sonnen, like, finished by stoppage? Okay, let me ask you that. You know, particularly like lately. Okay, Brian Stann. Okay, you take out besides that. Okay, versus Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva's finished like a bunch of his fights, dude. Okay, so it's like, you know, I saw one, I think one of these predictions, stuff like that, one of the providers like, oh yeah, you know, it was like, if Anderson Silva, you know, doesn't, like, you know, submit him or knock him out or something like that, then I think Chael's going to win. So basically, you know, in my personal opinion, what you're basically saying is if Anderson Silva doesn't win, then Chael will win. That's awesome prediction, bro. Thank you. You know, come on, dude. I mean, seriously. Anderson Silva stops fights, dude. That's what I'm talking about. He's going to fit, and that's the bottom line, dude. He finished Chael Sonnen. That's what some of the Chael Sonnen fans don't want to sort of get with. And, you know, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Chael Sonnen and all this talk and stuff like that. Oh, 5 rounds, and I did this, and I did that, and I was hitting him. You didn't finish it. Anderson Silva finished it. And that's what I'm talking about. In my personal opinion, as a fighter, Anderson Silva has that killer instinct, dude. That's different than being a tough wrestler. Do you see what I'm saying? Anderson Silva has a killer instinct. I don't know if Chael Sonnen has that kind of killer instinct as a fighter in the UFC type of situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's obviously in quotes. I'm not talking about literally or anything like that. I'm talking as a UFC fighter, as someone that's ready to finish. Okay? So understand what I'm talking about there. And so, and again, I like both these dudes and I respect both these dudes. But the bottom line is that, you know, the people that just are like, oh, Chael's, he's going to win this, that, whatever. In my personal opinion, you're in fantasy land. You're in fantasy land. Take the last fight of both of these fighters, okay? Okami versus Silva and Bisping versus Chael Sonnen. In my personal opinion, there were some people that thought that Bisping won that fight against Chael Sonnen, okay? That went to a decision. That wasn't very conclusive. Now, I thought Chael Sonnen won that fight. And, you know, judges said that he won that fight too. But it was a fairly close fight, okay, versus Okami versus Anderson Silva. Okami got destroyed. Okami got destroyed, okay, straight up. So I mean, how do you go into this fight? Oh, Chael, okay, styles make fights, and last fight, JDV, that's true. But, you know, sometimes you can have a bad night and off night. I mean, let's talk about this. Let's talk about, you know, Forrest Griffin versus Shogun. Their first fight versus their second fight. How'd that work out? And I think I think you can see a similar storyline there. What you have in Anderson Silva is straight up the best UFC champion ever. Period. End of story, dude. Hasn't just done it in one weight class. Went over there and fought, you know, a couple times at light heavyweight and totally destroyed the competition there, including Forrest Griffin, who used to be a UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. So it wasn't just like it was some like little tune-up fight or anything like that. Okay, has destroyed. And so now, what do you say? Unbeaten in the UFC. Nobody has beat Anderson Silva. And now I'm here to believe that someone that has a lot of losses, in my personal opinion, comparatively, on their record, how many losses? How many losses does Chael Sonnen have? What, 11? Okay, so don't tell me that Chael Sonnen can't lose or anything like that. And I'm not trying to disrespect Chael. I'm trying to get some reality, in my personal opinion, my personal opinion, some reality into some of the fans out there. Now, there's no question that Chael Sonnen can win, but I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of ways Chael Sonnen can lose. Okay, and I think that's what's going to happen tonight. My prediction, bottom line, is anything can happen in this fight. I say that there is at least an 80% chance that Anderson's going to win, in my personal opinion. And honestly, if I'm really to focus, I think it's going to end by stoppage, and I think it's more likely than not that it's going to be within 3 rounds. I think Anderson is going to just unleash serious pain. He might not want to finish this super early. I could see it both ways. I could see Anderson going in there and just wanting to finish this super quick and just shut it down and just going and being able to celebrate and just punking all the Chael Sonnen fans, everything like that. Or I could see him trying to, you know, just put a beating on Chael Sonnen and extending, you know, the beating on Sonnen. I could see that too. So either wouldn't surprise me, but I expect it to be, you know, 3 rounds or less is kind of where I see it. But, you know, that's the thing right there. But look, here's the bottom line. All the talking's done. I think both these gentlemen really want it bad. I think, you know, they both have a lot of talent. I just feel like Anderson Silva has more talent. And I feel like the evidence backs that up. And I think we're going to see an incredible fight tonight. So, you know, hats off to both these athletes. And I can't wait to see the fight. I think it's going to be very entertaining. So you tell me where you're at on this. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Oh, JDV, you don't know what you're talking about. JDV, you know what? You know what's up? I agree with you. Where are you at on this? That's my final prediction. Is that Anderson Silva is going to win this fight. I think there's an 80+% chance that he's going to win this fight. I think Anderson Silva is going to stop Chael Sonnen. And if I have to guess, I'd say, you know, in less than 3 rounds, it's going to happen. But I'm not saying that Chael Sonnen can't win this fight. He absolutely can win this fight if he's able to impose the same game plan as in Oakland and stay, you know, tight for all 5 rounds. And of course, of course, Chael Sonnen can win this fight. And, you know, I mean, there's other things that can happen too. Who knows? Maybe Chael Sonnen will throw a side choke or something like that and try to submit Anderson and all that. So anything can happen. It's a fight. That's why we're excited. That's why we want to see, in my personal opinion. But I think if you put all the pieces together, particularly the weigh-in, the training, everything like that, and you put it all, motivation, you put it all together, that's what I come up with. That's why I'm the MMA expert. I'm saying Anderson Silva wins this fight. Where are you at on this? Speak on it right now. I want to hear it. Give me the comments below. Please subscribe above. I'm John D. Villarreal, the 4-time national champion and the MMA expert. You're watching Conservative New Media. Please rate this video up. Also, please post to your social networking sites. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. And stay tuned, because the next video I'm going to do on this is, has Chael Sonnen talked, in my personal opinion, a little too much trash, quote unquote trash, and what impact do you think it's going to have on this fight? We're going to talk about that next. Stay tuned for that.